What's up, everybody? This is Kevin here from Happy Beard Games. Yes, your source for classic gaming goodness and for Final Fantasy XI online content. Alright, we're doing a sort of a Let's Play series of Final Fantasy XI that I've been doing since last year. So we're kind of playing this every other month or so and just kind of checking out Final Fantasy XI online, seeing how the game goes in its later years of existence. I recently created a new character named Elswood, named after my main Elswood, who is this Taru Red Mage. But this is an Elven Red Mage, so we're starting new. We're not altogether forgetting or throwing out Grenadin. We're going to go back to him from time to time. The reason I didn't just change this character's job to Red Mage was because I wanted to keep two separate files, basically, two separate storylines going. So let's log on to Elswood, our Elven Red Mage. I won't always show all this grinding and battling, but since this is trying to get to a specific point, a specific skill with my sword, we're gonna try to level that up. Now there is one thing over there that's really scary, that guy up on the hill, that's an orc. That thing could kill me, so I want to stay as far away from that as I can for now. I just want to be a little careful with this, guys. But yeah, you can see that these skill points are going up, so you have dagger skill, that's what we're looking for. Evasion also went up, so you have to have parrying also went up. These are all different skills, and they're separate than leveling up. But I did level up, so that's pretty cool. We're level 3 now. It'll go pretty gradually. Eventually, once you're around like level 30 or 40, it'll start slowing down. I already got that item, I guess. So let's go over this way, away from the orc, because later on we'll be able to kill orcs like nothing, but for now it's a little difficult. Actually, would probably get killed. I think they're tough when you're level 3, so that's a little hard. Let's check my abilities. Now you also have a thing called a job ability. You start out with it, it lasts, you can use it whenever you want, but once you use it, it takes 2 hours for it to come back, I believe. I believe that's what it is. And this first one is Chain Spout, sort of like a limit break kind of thing almost, but it allows rapid spell casting for a short amount of time. We got another treasure box, and I'm gonna do it real quick, but I might edit this part out. And I succeeded in getting it, guys, so that's pretty cool. I almost didn't get it, I got it on my last try. So we're gonna see what's in this treasure box right now. There's actually a lot of stuff that I can probably use pretty soon. So we got a tunic. These ones give you a lot of stuff early on. So I got a hat. This will save me a lot of time and a lot of money, so I won't have to buy this stuff if I get the right kind of gear. And we got a brass subligar too, which I believe is some kind of pants, so pant armor. So let's continue fighting these rabbits. And I don't want to forget that I have Dia as a spell. I don't really need to use it, and I haven't been using it as much. But it is handy. And I don't want to forget that I have it because I'm not used to playing the Red Mage as much, so I want to not forget about that. Here's another treasure box that I might edit this part out or speed it up or something because it might take a little while. Let's try to open this just because I need this gear early on. Okay, we failed that one, but that was kind of a tougher one. Didn't give us many choices or tries or attempts. So let's just continue on, and I'm actually going to check my skills. I want to see what my combat skills are. So dagger, I'm actually at 3, if you can see that right there, 3. So we need to go up 2 more levels, so it shouldn't be too much longer. However, once you go up higher levels, it takes longer. So basically, like, going from 1 to 2 will take less than going from 2 to 3. I believe that's how it works. And in addition, your skill level actually can't go up that much high unless you are actually, your character level is high. So if I was only level 1, well, I just leveled up to level 4, that's cool. But if I was still level 1, I don't think I could get my sword skill up that high or something like that. I think that's how it works. It's a little confusing because it gets a little weird later on once you get to higher levels, but yeah. Okay, let's cast Dia on it before he runs away. Maybe I can get it before he... Yep, there we got him. Sometimes the enemies will just kind of run by you. Now, enemies like the orc, or later on goblins, those will have a thing called aggro. Now, aggro is basically when an enemy sees or smells you or in some way detects you, they will run at you and start attacking you before you can attack them, in some cases. Here's another treasure box that I might have to edit out. Alright guys, we succeeded in opening this treasure box. So the answer was actually 11, so let's grab all this stuff. Got a brass harness. Got a tunic. I think some of these we already had, but we can sell them for gil, which is your money, your currency, and I got a beast coin. So we got all those items and gear. Let's keep going until we level up our sword skill, or our dagger skill, excuse me. Let's see what we have it already. No, we do not. Dagger skill is rising by 0.1 points twice during this fight, so we should be getting there pretty quick. And once again, I just want to check, I am actually at level 4 now, and you can tell that once you are level 4, it takes a lot more to get to your next level than it did previously. Something you gotta look out for. And we're gonna edit out this treasure box again too, because it's gonna take me a little while. Oh, I got it. 14. I've been getting pretty good at this. Okay, we got another brass harness. I think we've got a few of those. And we got another beast coin. So, seems like we're kind of running out of the variety here. But I still want to pick them up so I can sell them, because we need money early on. Alright guys, we're pretty close to achieving our goal, and we'll probably turn in the quest on the end of, or at the beginning of the next episode. So we're going to end it pretty quick here, but I just want to complete this part of the mission, part of the quest, excuse me. So we are just going to complete this part of the quest. Let's find some enemies. Where are the enemies? Come on. Let's ready my Dia. Let's cast Dia on this tunnel worm. We should be able to beat him pretty easily. We got it, we got Wasp Sting. So we're going to be using that on our next battle just so I can show you what it's like. But first we're going to open another treasure box. Okay, we failed that treasure box. So let's just go and I'll show you this ability. Because I do have full TP points, which is what you need to use an ability, a weapon skill. Now actually, what you really need to use a weapon skill is you have to have 1000 TP. Now if you reach 2000 TP, it will do even more damage. And if you reach 3000, which is your maximum TP, it'll do even more. So, or at least it'll work even better. So let's go to abilities, weapon skill, Wasp Sting, and let's use that. It's not too exciting, but it's pretty cool. It's a new ability, new move. Now you can see on the very top text box right there, it says the March 2016 logging campaign is currently underway, and that started today. So for the next, I don't know, like week or two, they're having a login campaign where you can get you get points. So you get 10 points on your first login. I currently have 10 points, of course. And basically you add up those points and you can use them to buy bonus stuff. So we also are doing the Vanadiel Rainbow campaign. These activate automatically. These are like current events that happen in the game, basically. Like every once in a while they'll add a new event. Rainbow campaign. We hope you enjoy this complimentary little gift courtesy of the citizens of Vanadiel. We obtained the special Gobby Dial key, which you can use, I believe, to open a box from a goblin. That would be in the town, actually. We're going to talk to her because we got our weapon skill up to level 5. So we got our weapon skill and daggers up to level 5, which learned us our first ability, and we tested that out. So we talked to Alun, who the quest is. That's who assigned us this little quest. Ooh, somebody went and learned a new weapon skill, didn't she? Very good. I can see by that twinkle in your eyes that you've already used it on some poor unfortunate creature, but I'll explain just a bit more. Whenever your tactical points TP reach 1000 or more, selecting abilities and then weapon skill from the menu will display a list of usable weapon skills. These are deadly techniques capable of rendering massive damage on enemies. It is well worth an adventurer's time to learn and master them. Oh, by the way, were you fortunate enough to receive some items from the monsters you fought? If you were lucky enough to come across any beastman seals, Make sure you hang on to them. They may pay dividends later on. Also, that reminds me, there's another lesson better learned sooner than later. The items you no doubt come across known as crystals, such as earth crystals and fire crystals, are extremely significant. They are truly versatile items that can be used for a number of purposes. These include trading them to guards for certain rewards and selling them to earn money, just to name a few. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. For now, I'd like to explain more about another of their uses, namely the role they play in synthesis. Yeah, this is the next quest we're going to be doing, guys. But first things first, your reward for completing the last assignment. Here you are then. I got a slice of hair meat, chunk of rock salt, last but not least a fire crystal, which we're going to be using to combine those all into a special item using synthesis. Now, using a fire crystal will bring up the synthesis interface. Once there, select the slice of hair meat and chunk of rock salt as the ingredients to be added. All that remains is to select the OK option and the synthesis will commence. You'll find that the crafting process will never begin should the ingredients you selected not form a viable synthesis recipe. So basically, you can't actually start the synthesis unless it's an actual recipe. Also, even when your materials are correct, there's always a chance your synthesis will fail, so please be wary. The majority of items which you create via synthesis, as well as most of those dropped by enemies you defeat, can be placed on the auction house for sale. The auction house is an ultra-consumer venue where you can attempt to purchase the wares of other players by placing bids, as well as have other players bid on items that you have put up for sale. My words alone can do no justice to the vast cornucopia of goods that is the auction house. One simply must see it with one's own eyes. That's quite a lot to cover. Are you with me so far? Sure am. It's a lot, guys, but yeah, it's a lot of text at this part. Not all of this will have a lot of text. And that brings us to your next assignment. Somewhere in the great city lies our nation's auction house. Seek it out and report back to me when you have found it. You needn't worry about going through with actual purchase. Simply examining any of the auction counters will more than suffice. So I got those 3 items. We're going to try synthesis first. So I'm going to hang out over the corner a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. And we're going to try synthesis. I haven't actually done this too much, even on my main character. I mean, I'm level 60 almost, but I'm level 59. I'm about to reach 60 soon, but and I'm quite a bit further in terms of progress, but I haven't really done synthesis that much on my main. I really haven't. So I'm a little fuzzy on what it is all about. I mean, I kind of understand the basic concepts, but we're going to try this out together. So I need a crystal. I'm not sure if it matters if it's an earth or a fire crystal. At this point, I don't think it does. So is rock salt and the red crystal, fire crystal. And the hair meat. Where's the hair meat? I think we have a lot of that actually. It's just one. Okay, you can choose a selection from how much you have. Okay, let's try this. I just hope it doesn't fail because I don't have any other rock salts. And it plays this little animation that kind of goes. It's basically like you're crafting with synthesis. That didn't look good. Oh, we got it. Slice of salted hair. I was like, that didn't look good. An incredibly simple dish. I'll read the description in a second. Where is it? Salted hair. An incredibly simple dish made by roasting hair meat seasoned with salt. So we got that item, and we can eat that, or we can sell that on the auction house, like Alone said. I want to make sure I have this actual home point, 'cause I don't know if I grabbed that last time. Okay, I didn't grab it. Well, that's good. I got it now. So these crystals are your home points, and they're all throughout the game, mostly in towns. Actually, I think only in cities and towns. And you click on them, and then it'll be registered. So then you can travel to that from another one anytime in the game. So, yeah, basically you can do that. So I'm actually going to try travel, and I'm going to select from favorites. I'm going to add this to my favorites list just so I remember that it's there. So this is a good place to go back to. So now we're going down to the auction house, which we went to before. It should be over here. And we'll just kind of go check that out. Ooh, look at that. Light flare, lens flare. This game has some really nice lighting graphics. And by the way, guys, Final Fantasy XIV which is somewhat of a sequel to this. That game has really good lighting effects as well, like even better than this. So we're just going to auction counter and check it out real quick. Now the quest said that I only had to like really click on it basically, but I kind of want to show you a little bit of what the auction house is. It's a little confusing, but we will figure it out in a second. So basically you go to bid and you have all your categories, and then it's not quite as simple as newer MMOs. It doesn't really have a search engine as far as I know. If there is one, let me know because that'd be really handy. So I'd go to Dagger because I'm a red mage, and it shows every weapon in the game, I believe, that you can possibly put on the auction house. And they're not all available. See how it has these ones, like 1 or 3? That's how many is available. So then you click on it and it gets even more vague because you go to price history, and these are all the prices. These are the most recent purchases and the dates that they were bought on and the prices of what they were bought for. And then you just kind of bid and you try to guess whatever the price is that will allow you to purchase it from other. These are all from other players basically. So that's how it works. Now it's a little confusing because they're not sorted and they're not there's no search engine, so it's a little confusing, but once you get used to it, it's alright, but it's still not that easy. So you have to look for things that you gotta look out for on the auction house are, like if I wanted this Ogre Jambia, I'd have to be level 75, I'd have to know that that is not my class, it's not a red mage class, it's a dancer class. And then I'd have to know any other requirements for that. So that's how you look for weapons. So I'd have to find something that was like level 5 maybe, and for red mages available. So that's how you use that. You also need a lot of gil. You can see that some of them cost, I don't know, upwards to 100,000 gil or more. And I do not have that much gil right now. Now I'm going to go back to the auction house in a second, but I just want to check how much gil I have just on the top of my head. I have 60 gil currently. Okay, cool. We're all good. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you what sell is like. You just kind of click on an item and you can sell it, and we might do some selling in a little bit. And then you also have sales status, which will show what you have up for auction, and then you can look at it, see if it's sold, and then if you go to your Mog house later on, which is your little home where you keep all your inventory, your bank, and everything like that. Like you keep your extra items that you don't carry on your character, you keep them on your Mog house. And there's this little guy called a Moogle or a Mog. It's a little like bear-like character from Final Fantasy, and he'll help you out there. And you can also do things like change your job there, change your class, and then yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. I'll show that in a later episode, but I've shown that in the past on my other character. So you can go and pick up the money that you earn from the auction house at your Mog house. We're going to do a couple more things before this episode ends, and that is we're going to go to our items. Now remember in the last episodes we picked up a lot of extra equipment from treasure boxes out in the field. Now these things I'm going to try to sell on the auction house. If they don't sell by the time I do another video set, then I will just take them off and sell them to an NPC for a little bit of gil. But I'll just see if they can sell on the auction house just to try it out, and that way I can show you what the auction house is like a little more in depth. So some of the things I picked up were things like this brass subligar, but we're going to keep that, I think. Yeah, we're going to keep that. Now some of these things that I cannot use as a red mage, or things that I have more than one of, such as the brass harness, I have 3 of those. I don't need 3 of them. So I can try to sell that. I can also try to sell this tunic because I have 2 of that. So those are what I'm going to be selling. It's the brass subligar and the tunic. So we're going to look those up on the auction house, see how much they're worth, how much they're selling for. We're going to sell them for a little bit lower because that's what I like to do. When I play MMOs, I don't always sell them for a higher price than average. I don't usually sell them for the average. I usually sell them for a little bit lower than average actually, because I'm not really that picky and I'd rather it just sell fast. Alright, so I found out that the tunic sells for, at the lowest price on the auction house currently, it was 801 gil. So I'm going to go ahead and sell my tunic by clicking on sell from the auction house menu and selling tunic. I'm going to sell it for 750 gil. I don't know if that's actually higher or lower than the selling price for an NPC at a equipment store or something, but I'm going to try selling it for 750 gil just so I can show it on this video as an auction house example. So So we're going to click on 750 gil, and then we're going to push sell. That's going to take a transaction fee of 8 gil, so it's going to cost me a little bit, just a little bit, in order to put this up on the auction house. And we're going to do that right now. We did it. Merchandise placed on auction. If merchandise remains unsold after 30 weeks, VanADL time, it will return to your current residence. If a successful bid is made, the proceeds will be delivered to your current residence. And then, yeah. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go check one last thing before this episode is over. And that is back to armor, back to body. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing before this episode is over at the auction house. And we're going to go to armor, we're going to go to body, we're looking for a brass harness. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's the brass harness. Not the bronze harness, the brass harness. So we're going to look through this really quickly. Hopefully it won't take too long. Brass harness, there it is. I found that pretty fast. Sells for 800 to 1,000 gil. So we're going to sell it for 750 as well. And we have 2 of them to sell this time. So we're going to sell because I want to keep one for later usage for myself. 750. It's the same transaction fee because it's the same amount of gil that I'm selling it for as the tunic was. Brass harness. Now, just in case one of these actually sold already, I'm going to check the sales status because I want to show you that that's how you check to see if they're available. I highly doubt any of these sold already, but you never know. The auction house is a rapidly changing place. So let's check sales status. They're all green, so that means that they are still going and all good. You can stop the sale as well, and you can check the current price history of the most recent ones that have sold. These aren't the ones that are in stock right now. These are the ones that have sold, and there's once again the date that they were sold on in Earth time. So you gotta kind of pay attention in the game that VanADL, the world of Final Fantasy XI, has a different time process. There's a different way of telling time than it does in our world Earth. So it kind of equals to a specific point, but I think it's like 1 minute in our time is like, I don't know, like 2 hours or something like that in VanADL time, something like that. It's a little different. It's like something like that. It's a little odd. I'll have to figure it out for you, or maybe there's a link to a clock or something, but yeah, something like that. Alright guys, so we're gonna, why am I so zoomed in? I don't know what happened, but I got really zoomed in there. Okay, now I'm really zoomed out. Okay, it was just the camera. Alright guys, we're gonna end this episode right here, and next time there should be a little more action. I'm thinking in the next episode we're gonna try to get our first alter ego, our first trust, our little companion that'll help us out, an NPC companion character that'll help us during battle. Okay, and then I'm not sure what else we'll do. We might be able to start the first mission, but we'll see what Alone has for us in store next time. This is the Red Mage series on Happy Beard Games for Final Fantasy XI. Now remember, we did Synthesis in this episode. We also did the auction house part. Alright guys, so that's about it. If you want to support my channel, please leave a like. Please comment, let me know what you think. Any requests for my character, what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, and what you would like to see me do next. Subscribe today for more classic gaming goodness. I mean, if you comment, I'd expect you to subscribe so that we actually can just see the results. And then share it on various social media, including Twitter. Alright guys, until next time, Happy Beard Games, I'll see you then. Happy Beard Games! Oh!